to see your faces. A lot of times we have an ag agent that'll log in. So if there is an ag agent here, by all means, introduce yourself. You guys are always more than welcome to join us. And I'll give everybody a second to type that in. And I know we have some out-of-state guests here. I think we got some people from Pennsylvania that's joining us. And if you have dual license, like if you're in North Carolina and you're working in Charlotte and you have a South Carolina license, make sure you put that information in here too. That way we can get you credits for both. All right. So how's everybody doing? What you can do is just go ahead and, like, when you need to talk or whatever, you can unmute yourself, and then you can see the chat box we have open at all times. And so can everyone see the actual screen introduction where it says calculating your turfgrass management program? Does everyone see that?
Yep.
All right, cool deal. So you guys can actually see the home shot of the all right. Thanks, Mr. Jarvis. All right. And guys, like I said, with your license number, make sure you type in your name and your phone number, because we can always find you on the Department of Ag's websites with a phone number for some reason, if there's, you know, more than 2 or 3 people with the same name. I'm promoting everybody to a panelist. That'll allow you guys to share your cameras. If you're logged in with a telephone or using a phone, that may be a little difficult for you guys to share a phone. I see a 336 number and a 704 number. Just make sure you guys, if you're on with your phone, make sure that you do type in your name, because all we can see is your actual telephone number instead of like your names and stuff on the participants box. And if you have a question, all you got to do is raise your hand or whatever. It's down there in the box, or you can tap it there in the chat box. And so it is 7:05. We're going to go ahead and get started with calculating your turfgrass management program. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here. It's a fast 2 hours. It goes by really fast. We do these every Tuesday night, Turf Talk Tuesdays. And so thanks for joining us. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So how many of you guys are actually active in the lawn care business, meaning you're spraying or you're pushing a spreader every single day? Most of you are. All right, good deal. I'm just kind of scrolling through and seeing everybody's face. If you have questions, don't forget, all you got to do is raise your hand or just unmute yourself and talk. And when you're not talking, just kind of keep everything muted. All right, so let's rock and roll. And I want all of you guys to participate. Makes everything go by a whole lot faster. We have a whole lot more fun. And we can...
Instructor?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. I'm new to this. I've tapped the participant button, and it's got my name at the very top, but I can't put in all the other information you need.
Okay. What's your name, sir?
Bobby Caudill.
Oh, okay.
Caudill.
All right. Do you actually see the chat box?
Let me get back over here. I see your face. I see you talking. Yes, sir.
So the actual chat box.
Well, I'm sorry.
You're okay. We'll get squared away.
Yeah, I don't see it.
All right. I just sent it to everyone. Y'all see a little navigation bar where it says mute, stop video, and all that stuff? Like a navigation bar. If you click on more, you'll be able to see the actual chat box.
Okay. Chat's 3, raise hand. All right, hiding my video.
Yeah, and just all you gotta do is click on that actual chat box, and it should open it up.
On the chats, 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you should see the last thing in there.
Okay.
707. Type in here your name, license number, phone number, state, and county.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, just type
Yes,
it in
sir,
right there
I
where it
do.
says type
I'll
message
get
here.
that. All right. I'm sorry about the interruption.
No, man. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you guys. And like I said, guys, if you've got dual license like South Carolina and North Carolina, make sure you put in the information for both counties or both states. That way you get credit for both. These seminars are licensed in 7 different states. So make sure you guys get all the credits that you can get. All right. So let's go ahead and we will get this going on. All right, so calculating your turf grass management program. All right, our objectives. Attendees will work together on some common pesticide applications. Some of these we've probably seen before. We have worked them in different seminars or different webinars. But it's kind of a good review because we're actually going to take an actual lawn care program and we're going to break it down. And we're going to have a sample of how many yards we could have, how many average square feet per yard, and then we're going to calculate all of our total products for the year and actually see what our cost will be on every single product, and we'll break it down per application. We will calculate basic pesticide application math problems, and then attendees will calculate a lawn care program totaling up all the products that we're going to use. And this is a basic program. You know, you guys may want to add to it, subtract to it, or however you do it. And these applications are, you know, based on, you know, tall fescue here in North Carolina. So it may be a little bit different if you're on the East Coast or the, you know, eastern part of the state where, you know, we have the warm season grasses. Attendees will also review some pesticide labels to find application rates. And that's what we're going to do. We're actually we'll pull those applications up. We have hyperlinks in the slides that we'll be able to open up these labels and actually see how many ounces and per 1,000 square feet and stuff of product that we're supposed to use. And so we'll talk about this for about 50 minutes. So around 7:50, we'll take a 10-minute break, and then we'll pop back in and finish the hour, and we'll have a bunch of pesticide math problems. All right, so in January, February, some of you may even start in December, you're probably going to want to go and do a soil test for your customers. Do you guys do one every single year for your customers? Yeah, we about got to, don't we? And are you guys using the Department of Agriculture, or are you actually sending it off to you know, somewhere like Site One to get the product, or have them get the the soil samples for us done? Or are y'all relying on the state? You can get it back a little bit faster when you do get them to do it.
I do all of mine through the state.
Do you?
Yeah.
I use Site One for mine.
Yeah. I like using both. I just like that Site One because we can get it back we get them back in less than 2 weeks. That's the main thing for us is time. And now the state actually charges for them anyway. Hang on, I got a guy trying to get in here. So send them off to Site One. Site One is going to charge $16.95 for the soil test, and you're going to get them back. We get them emailed to us, and I like having that. I like having them emailed to us. That way we can actually, save them, actually put it in our software program for each customer. It doesn't matter which program you're using. You can upload pictures and PDFs and stuff like that to most of these lawn care programs that you can get. But go ahead and grab like a tablet or something, because this is kind of starting off working out this lawn care program. So if you got some scratch paper or something there, and we're just going to write down, soil test. We're going to be using it at $16.95 per test. So that can add up depending on how many customers we have. I know guys that have 5,000 lawns that they take care of. So that's a pretty chunk of money. But this is something we can actually charge back to our customers. This is actually an application. You're taking the samples, taking it to Site One, and then you're going to get money back from them. And then, depending on which type of lime that you're going to use or whatever, here we have a picture of CalTurf Pro, $15 per 50-pound bag. It's going to cover up to 10,000 square feet. And so the idea is we're going to have to figure out how many total square feet that we take care of each season, each year. So we're going to have to figure that up. Most of you already know that. We're actually measuring our properties. How many of you guys are using something like Jobber, Turf Hop, LMN software to keep track of all of your properties? Is anybody out there using anything like that?
I've been meaning to ask you about that.
We're using Jobber right now. It's great. It's great for lawn care. It's great for mowing. It's great for actually doing invoicing and estimating. But I am in the midst of actually looking for something else. I'm really impressed with LMN software, just for the fact that it can do the landscaping and that side of the house as well. But you can actually record all of your square foot or your square footage inside these software programs. So, with CalTurf Pro, I'm just go ahead and write it down. CalTurf Pro is $15 per 50-pound bag, and it covers 10,000 square feet. And so what do y'all think would be a fair price? Do you guys want to work these problems out and kind of come up with an average per site visit to the clients? Or do you want to take like, hey, it's costing us $16.95 for this soil test. How much do you think we should charge back to our clients for that? Because it's going to take us a little bit of time when we're there. We're going to have to bag it. We're going to actually have to pull the plugs. What do you think we should do? How many soil samples can we collect in one day? What do y'all think is a good average for that? You think we're going to be there a full hour? Are we going to be there 30 minutes? Are we going to be there 15 minutes? What do you think is going to happen?
I'd say about 30 minutes.
So figuring about 30 minutes per soil test. And so based on your billable hour rate, what do you think it's gonna run? What are some of you guys' labor rates? We had a good conversation about this in Charlotte this weekend, and it was good hearing people's other rates. Guys, we're not competitors here. We're colleagues. And the problem with the green industry is that we've all kind of not pulled together. You know, my dad, when he started out in 1977, he's like, man, everybody was so top secret about everything they do. Nowadays, you're starting to see more guys and gals work together and come up with some of these prices. I mean, you know, if you're paying somebody $20 an hour as a crew leader or whatever, what do you think we need to get for that? Because these lawn care technicians, they need to make more money than the individual that's running a string trimmer. Your lawn care techs are, you know, they've got their certification. They may already be licensed. They're actually, you know, a pretty good employee that's going to generate some good income for you. So, you know, if we're paying them $20 an hour, what do you think we need to be charging our clients per hour? What is a good labor rate for a lawn care technician? You know, I've heard everything from 50 to 95 an hour. What's y'all's opinion on that? Everybody gets real quiet when we start talking about money, don't it?
Well, Eric, mine is $52 an hour for me.
52 hour
for
minimum.
me. And then $20 per man in addition to that.
So you're getting that. You're getting 52 for yourself.
Yeah.
Being the license holder, the owner, and then you're charging 20 per labor for your guys.
Right. Exactly.
Gotcha. Anybody else want to
I
share?
guess I'm cheap.
That's
I
too cheap.
suppose I'm the cheap one. I do it for about 40 an hour.
Yeah. And I guess it really depends on the type of work that you're doing. But if, let's say you're paying a lawn care technician 20 an hour, you know, it's going to cost you, you know, a lot more than that 20 an hour with, you know, taxes and insurance and everything that you're going to have to pay on that individual. So,
Right.
you know, somebody
No.
working 20 an hour.
No, I didn't say I was paying them 20 an hour. That's what I charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's, you know, but a lot of guys, I mean, we don't have anybody work for us under 15 an hour. I mean, that's pretty much the starting rate for individuals. And so when you do that, you know, your taxes and insurance, I mean, your cost is 20 an hour. So you've at least got to be 50 an hour per person that's on a job site if you want to pay for the trucks, pay for the equipment and everything else. But
Okay.
let's say that they're there 30 minutes and our labor rate, even if we're only there for 30 minutes, my labor rate, if I'm at 50 an hour, I'm going to charge them probably the full hour with travel time and everything else there. So we've got what? What do you think we got? We got roughly, if we're 50 an hour labor rate, and then we've got, you know, $16.95 for the soil test, we're looking at about, you know, $67 for that one site visit.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at this, you're going to start seeing that your actual applications are going to be kind of close to this. So you could probably come up with an actual average labor rate for every single application. Well, let's say we're not going to do our CalTurf Pro. Let's say we go SoluCal. Look at the cost per bag here. You know, this is $50 per pound. Big difference right there. I'd say probably most people are using CalTurf, but if you needed to jump up to the SoluCal, and that just kind of depends on what you want to do. But that's running us $50 per 50-pound bag. And depending on our soil test, there's no telling how much we're going to have to use for that. How many bags? And Thalia Cow is going to give us 10,000 square footage of coverage. So let's jump into our first pre-emergent application.
Yes.
All right, I know a couple more people's just joined in. Guys, if you can hear me, in the chat box, go ahead and type in your name, phone number, license number. That way we'll get everybody squared away. But let's look at February, March applications. If we're going with Barricade, and we'll talk about the other products that we can use either use Barricade or we can go the Dimension route. But if we're using Stonewall Barricade, a 1706 30% SCU, this is round of a pre-emergent. The timing of this application should be made according to our soil temps. This creates a barrier that prevents crabgrass and other weeds from germinating. At the same time, applies 3/4 pound of nitrogen to the soil. Other good first round analysis are 25-2-5 and 13-2-5. This is going to cover 12,000 square feet. And we're going to look at about $22 per 50-pound bag. And so on our notebook pack, we're going to do first app. And we're going to be putting down 17-06, 30%. Anybody using this? Or are y'all going the Dimension route?
I'm using liquid pendimethalin.
I forgot you're the liquid guy. Big truck tanks.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I saw a guy down east last time I was down by the coast that had a big sprayer that had about 8 tanks on an 18-foot trailer.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you about it.
Wow. Well, I guess to each their own, right?
I guess so. I guess he had a tank for just about every product he was using. And I don't know, just a little leery of that sometimes.
But on our notepad, guys, let's write down. We got $22 per 50-pound bag. And it's going to give us 12,500 square feet of coverage. And with the Barricade, we'll come back for round 2. And we're still using the Stonewall Barricade, but our second application, we're going to come back. We're going to come back with a 13-07, or we can use 1706. Or bring in the Dimension. But I'm going to stick with that 1307 for this calculations. This is the second round of a pre-emergent and is very critical round. This application overlaps with the first to give crabgrass and weed control through late August. Other good choices will be 5, 10, 20, or if you prefer no nitrogen, you could use 007. And still we're going to get $12,500 square foot per bag. Okay, thanks, David. I see you there on the phone too. So good deal. Thanks, man. Christopher, yeah, you're using Dimension. Then we follow up with the second round with a liquid app. Chris using Service Autopilot. That is a good software. Real Green software from Cameron. Good stuff there. Y'all know that actually, when it comes to green industry professionals, that less than 1% of us use a software in our business? When I heard those numbers, that was hard to believe. Hard to believe. But I'm sure we all know the individuals that still handwrite everything. It's just kind of an industry that we are. But look, our second round, pre-emergent, we got $22 per bag, and we get 12,500 square feet. And with all these, I've actually got the labels and stuff attached to it if we need it. June and July, we're going to use a 1537, 30%, 50% organic, 1.5% iron, or a 5020, 10% iron. This application is primarily for irrigated turf or other turf that is not under stress. The iron in this application will green up the grass and will help with the summer stress. It's $20 per 50-pound bag, and we're going to cover 10,000 square feet. So we got $20 a bag that we're writing down. And we got 10,000 square foot of coverage. And one thing we hadn't really looked at yet is actually if we're spraying for broadleaf weeds during this time as well. All right, September to October, we're going to use our starter fertilizer. And we've priced some Lesco seed here. The fall is the best time to renovate and reseed your turf. Use their premium turf seed blend and starter fertilizer to improve the color and density of new turf, as well as in aid with winter hardiness. Covers 12,000 square feet per bag. 3-way 90-10 surfactant for post-broadleaf. Good stuff, Chris. All right, and so we can use 1822, or we can go with 1824-12, and a 50-pound bag is going to run us about $20 a bag. I'm accustomed to the 1824-12, $20 per bag, and we've got 12,000 square feet. And then we're going to look at actually about $80 per bag of seed, and it's going to give us anywhere from 10,000 to 12,000 square feet, depending on how bad the turf is. And then we move on into November, our late or early winter app. And we're going to use, 20-15, or 25% SEU. This round gives the turf a full pound of nitrogen going into the winter to help the turf maintain its color and to green up quicker in the spring. We're going to get about 14,000 square feet in coverage, and we're going to get $18 per bag on this. And so how many apps have we done so far of actual product? We've got 6 times that we're actually applying a product, and then we have 1 time that we're there doing the soil test. So we're actually making 7 trips to each property here. And so I would call this a 7-step program. But when should we actually apply some of these broadleaf weed controls when we're there. We don't want to make an extra trip for that. So when would we want to start hitting some of these broadleaf weeds? Which apps? Do we want to hit all of them, or what do y'all think? Should we go with the first pre-emergent, the second pre-emergent, maybe into the summer a little bit? What are y'all going to
We're
First
usually
and second.
first and second applications, and then just kind of touching up as the season
needed.
progresses.
Yep. So you're going to hit it twice, right? And what are you going to be using there?
If you hadn't asked me, I could have told you. What is it? Oh, we're using T-Zone this year. We've used a lot of it.
Oh, okay. You ever use Speed Zone?
I have in years past, yes.
Yeah. Do you have good luck with that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you're going to have to kind of rotate this, throughout your career there on these properties. You don't want to use the same stuff over and over again. Why is that? These properties, the weeds are going to build up a tolerance more than likely. And so let's think about this. Anybody using Q4? Got a mixture of grassy and broadleaf weeds. I know it's kind of expensive. We talked about it a little bit last week. Well, for 2.5 gallon jugs, $325. And if we needed to look at the label rate here, let's see if we can open this up.
2.6 ounces at the low rate for Q4.
2.6.
Yes, sir.
2.6 ounces. Is that per 1,000 square feet?
Yes, sir.
And that's right. Let's see.
You got to spray it in the morning because it will cause damage if it's above 90 degrees outside because it's that ester formulation. So you got to time it right.
Yeah, so that's actually 2.6 per 1,000. Yeah, we did that math last week. It was what 2.67, $2.67. So out of a 2.5 gallon jug, we could get 123,000 square foot blocks. And at the low rate, that's going to cost us about $2.67 per 1,000 square feet. Some high dollar stuff. Now we can actually we can jump up to Speed Zone. Anybody using Speed Zone?
It's too hot now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But when we're doing our program here, if we're using 2.5 gallons, it's going to cost us $2.20. Anybody know the application rate on?
For Speed Zone?
Yeah.
Why do I want to say 1.7 ounces? I could be. I'm close. I hadn't used Speed Zone in a while.
I'm thinking 1.38.
Christopher says 1.29. Yeah, Mr. Murphy, you're right. Q4 does. Just add your application rates to make up the cost difference in chemicals. Sure Power in the summertime. I'm double checking the label right now.
I think it's 1.0.
Yeah, okay, I got the saying here in the Kentucky Bluegrass, tall fescue, 1.1 to 1.8. So we'd use, the lower rate. All right. Cool. All right. So let's kind of look at some numbers here. We got a few minutes before we'll take our break. Let's say that with our properties here, that we have 5,000 lawns. This is just a scenario. Actually, I've got a good friend that has about 5,500 lawns, and average square foot of these lawns is roughly 8,320 square feet. So how many total square feet are we looking at per round? We got 5,000 times the 8,320 square feet. So roughly 41,600,000 total square feet per application. So when you're making the rounds. So how much is it going to cost us for our soil test?
$15.95.
That's gonna be
5,000 times what was it? 16.95.
$84,750.
Yep, 84,750. That's cost for soil test.
Man.
And let's say that our labor rate was 50 for that, and we actually had we did the $50 an hour labor rate plus the $16.95. I just kind of come up and said $67 is what we're charging our clients. So 5,000 times $67. Going to be a pretty good first round.
Oh, yeah.
$335,000. That is gross on that app. It's not bad for January work, is it? If we had that many lawns. Anybody got close to that number of lawns? I know the guys like down in Charlotte and Raleigh, a lot of those guys will have it. Let's go ahead and look at our lime. So how many we got? We got a total of 41,600,000 square feet of turf that we're looking at. And if we're using the CalTurf Pro, we can get 10,000 square feet per bag. Now, like I said, there's going to be, based on soil test, but if we just use let's say that we're only going to put out 1 bag of lime. We can come up with fairly close, but we're going to have to look at all these soil tests because there's going to be some lawns that are going to need more lime than others. But let's say they're all the same. Let's say they're all the same and that they're going to need the 1 bag. That's all we're going to have to do. So if we're using CalTurf Pro, it's going to be $15 per bag, but we're getting 10,000 square feet per bag. So that 41,600,000 So it looks like we're going to need about 4,160 bags. So how much money are we going to be spending on lime for that round if everybody only needed 1 bag?
Eric, unless I hit something wrong on this calculator, it's going to be $62,400.
Correct. Yes, sir. That's right. And that's our cost on the lime. So what do you think it's going to cost us in labor to do that? What do y'all think would be a fair cost to charge that client labor rate to do that? I know we said we spent 30 minutes doing a soil test. So how long do you think it's going to take us to push out push out 8,000 square foot lawn?
I'd say including your drive time, better at least be putting an hour on it at a minimum.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And so think about that. If we're going to spend around $15 a bag per house and we have labor rate of $50 an hour, that still puts us up around how much per site visit? That'd be $65. Well, we charged them $67 to do the soil test. Do you know the one thing that I've seen with customers is if we can keep these applications the same price, it makes it a lot easier for billing. It makes it a lot easier for them. They're like, okay, it's going to be $67 to come and do this. Makes it a whole lot easier to do. So guys, in the long run, with these numbers, what can we do with our pricing on this? We can actually come up with what it's going to cost us per 1,000 square feet. We could even break it down to what it's going to cost us per square foot. So when we go and measure a property, we know exactly what it's going to cost. I like doing it per 1,000 square feet because that's what the label rate and everything else says. So if we can do that, we can have a spreadsheet that we can go around and actually measure these properties and just pull out our spreadsheet and say, okay, we've measured X amount of square feet on this one. It's going to cost us so many dollars per application to do that. That makes it so easy and simplifies it where we can actually have possibly a salesman or saleswoman out there selling for us. Because it's kind of hard for the business owner to get out there and actually do every single quote that needs to be done. Unless you are focusing just 100% on lawn care. But if we're doing 50 an hour and our lime is still going to cost us basically 15 per site, That's at 65. We were at 67. I'd almost go ahead and shoot that up to $67 for a lime application. And like I said, it's going to give or take. I mean, we're going to have to look at these soil tests. But the idea, if you have a property over multiple years, you know, you're not going to have to dump a bunch of lime on it every single year. You're going to get it to where you need it. You're going to maintain that property, and it's not going to use as much the following years. So let's go ahead and look at our first pre-M app. And so we're using 1706 as $22 a bag, and it's going to give us 12,500 square feet per bag. So we're going to say 22, 50-pound bag. It's going to give us 12,500 square feet. And so we're going to take our 41,600,000. We're going to divide it by 12,500. We'll see how many bags we need for this round of application. And so we're going to need 3,328 bags, and they are $22. So for that first round of pre-emergent, we're going to be spending roughly how much? Anybody come up with a number yet? So we got our 41,600,000 total square feet, and we're going to put out a pre-emergent. We're going to put that 1307 out, or no, the 1706 for that first round. We're going to get a coverage of a bag about 12,500. They're $22 a 50-pound bag. So we divide our 41,600,000 by 12,500, and we're going to need roughly 3,328 bags of the Stonewall Barricade for this first go round.
About $73,216.
That's right. That's right. Now, we're not going to use a whole bag. So roughly, if our average lawns are 8,320, we're using roughly 2/3 of a bag. So product cost, total product cost per yard is going to be roughly $14.64. If we're still doing $50 labor rate, the 50 plus the 14.64 again puts us right there at the 65. Why not go ahead and bump it up to $67? That way, our soil test is 67, our lime application is 67, and our first round of pre-emergent is 67 per yard, per 8,320 square feet. So keeping on target with that. The cool thing about this, when we finish working through all of these applications, we're going to know our total product cost and our total labor cost for the whole year. That allows us to budget. That allows us to hire the correct amount of people. This allows us possibly to purchase some of our products at discount rates, early buy program. Site One does that. Christopher, you talking about, Mr. Murphy, you talking about marking up your actual product? And Cameron Williams. Yeah. Okay, so you're doing the 20% markup on your product. So yeah. So basically we could take that, it looks like we're coming up around $17 on an average for product or service doing the soil test. So yeah, we could bump that $17 up, 30%, 20%, however you guys wanted to do that. All right, guys, we're right at 7:53, 7:54. You guys want to take a short break? Department of Ag says to give a 10-minute break when we've talked for 50 minutes. So we'll come back about 4 minutes after 8, and we'll go ahead and finish this, and then we'll look at some other problems. I'm going to actually keep the recording going. That way, if you guys are talking or whatever, and we always put these on YouTube as soon as they're over. All right, looks like everybody's getting back. Got maybe a couple more. It's about bean time, ain't it? We never eat till around here at about 9:30. All right, so we're back to that second round of pre-emergent. And so second round, again, is going to be $22 a bag. It's going to give us the same coverage. And so it's basically going to be the same thing. So I'm just going to say $67. But we're going to spend roughly $73,216 in total product for that second round. So let's look at our summer app. Got different rates. So we're going to get 10,000 square foot, and it's going to be $20 a bag. So we got our 41,600,000 divided by the 10,000 square feet, and it is $20 a bag. So we're going to need 41,000. No, we're going to need 4,160 bags times 20. $83,200 product cost. And we're going to see how much. So we got a total So we got 8320, 8,320. About the 10,000. So we're going to use roughly almost a whole bag. So again, around $16.64 of our product cost, which is our cost. And yes, you guys will want to mark up 20 to 30%. But again, we're doing the $50 an hour labor rate. It still puts us at 66, 64. So again, right there at $67 per application. So right on target with that. Let's move into our fall seeding. We know that's going to be different. We're using 182412. It's going to cost $20 a bag. We are going to get 12,000 square feet out of it. So a little different than the summer app. We got our 41,600,000. Divided by 12,000. We're going to need we'll need 3,467 bags. Cost us $20. So we're going to have $69,340 in product there. Let's go ahead and work it up for the seed. How much seed are we going to need? We're going to get 10 to 12,000 square feet per bag of seed. So we can take an average. We'll do 11,000. Let's do 11,000 square feet for a bag of seed. It's going to cost us $80. $80. Going to get 11,000 square feet. We're going to need 3,782 bags times 80. We're spending quite a bit of money right here, ladies and gents. How much y'all come up with for seed? How much we're going to need for seed? Quite a bit of money. It'd be nice for them to take 90 days to pay us each customer, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you'd need 3,782 bags at $302,546.
Yeah. Whatever Or that right over 300,000, a little over 300,000, 302,000. Quite a bit of money to pay up front, ain't it?
Oh yeah.
But that's where we make our money. Fall aeration and seeding is big time. So, does anybody know what it costs them per square foot to plug? To actually run a walk behind plugger, or to run over it with an aerator, whichever one you're doing? Most people are probably, a lot of the True Green guys and stuff, they've got everybody's got the right on spread, the pluggers now, which are nice. Some people aerate, using the 3-point hookup on a small lawn tractor. Some people still walk behind aerate. And how long do you think it's going to? How long will it take us to plug an 8,320 square foot lawn?
Just
Plugging 8,000
put
right?
that fertilizer out too and seed.
I'd say to ride on plug 8,000 square feet, you probably got less than 15 minutes in it.
Yeah.
Depends on the shape of the yard, and if you trim in. So I guess some people do trim in with the walk behind pluggers, right? So
Yeah.
you may have 3 guys out there for 15 minutes each,
Yeah.
and then somebody putting the seed out in the fertilizer.
They're saying here the cost to aerate, and the average is between $15 and $17 per 1,000 square feet. So let's go to the high rate. I always like kind of going the high rate on stuff like that. So if we've got an 8,320 square foot lawn, and we're going to use the higher rate, we got to do 83,020 divided by 1,000. That gives us 8.32 thousand square foot blocks that we're going to multiply times 17. So we're looking at $141.44 labor to aerate. We'll probably bump that up to 150.
Can you run through the fundamentals on that pricing for $15 per 1,000 square feet or plug?
That is the average produced in these textbooks.
Okay.
So if you do 1,000 square feet, if it's $17 per 1,000 square feet, we've got 8,320 divided by 1,000. We've got actual 8.32 thousand square foot blocks that we'd multiply by 17. Now that's just plugging it. That's just plugging it. And then we got to sell them the seed, and we got to sell them the fertilizer. And so let's say if we bumped it up to 150, how much to fertilize with the 18/24/12? We were getting $67 pretty much per application rate, which would need to bump that up again to add that 20 to 30%, for the product markup. So if we're doing, what's that? You run that through this calc again. So we're looking about fertilizer price of around, again, this is just our cost. $13.88. Our seed cost is going to be about $61. Or yeah, I'd bump it. I got 60.51 for cost. Adding my 30% markup on product. So I've got roughly $74.39 in product cost. Bump it up to 75. 75 times. So 97.50 for my seed and my fertilizer with that 30% markup. And then I'd throw in my 50 labor rate to put that out. What are y'all looking at per plugging and seeding for that 8,320 square foot lawn? Out the door, done. I like the 3-point hookups, Mr. Murphy. $475. I like that price. What do you got? What are you guys coming up with?
I'm coming up with an average price of about $55 per 1,000 square feet.
Per 1,000?
Yeah, per 1,000. So if you had 8,000 square feet and you just 8 times 55, that'd put you at 440. But I'm gonna round that up to 10,000 square feet if I'm gonna bid it, just because it's easy math. That'd put me at 5.5.
So what is your total price, Daniel?
I'm sorry, ask Matt one more time.
What would your total price be on that 8320?
I'd do it at 550.
550. Then Mr. Williams, or Cameron Williams, 475. Some nice little average in there of a little over 500.
Now, what about your coverage? You know, you got your straw bales.
Yeah,
like that.
Well, yeah, and hopefully, you know, if it's your yards that you're taking care of, you know,
Right.
Hopefully you're not going to need that straw. Hopefully they've been on your program long enough that they've got that decent stand of grass.
That's true.
Yeah. Cool deal. So everybody's looking at, well, we've got an average of 475 through 550. What everybody's coming up with on, and that's total. That's plug-in, seeding, putting out to fertilize. So if we've got that average, let's say our average would be 525 then. 525. Look at what our gross income is for plugging and seeding. That's a healthy September and October, ain't it? So we got Mr. Williams saying 475, Daniel saying 550. So let's take the average, 525. How many yards we got? 5,000. That's putting us at 2,625,000 for plugging and seeding season. Not a bad way to go into the winter, right, guys? So with that, what would it be with that right there to plug it and seed it and fertilize it based on that 1 yard there of 8,320? What could we say a good average per square foot would be to plug seed, put down the 1824.12?
I wouldn't do it for any less than $50 per 1,000 square feet.
Less than 50?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
What is our average though with this?
I'd have to get my pen and paper out.
So we got a 8,320 square foot lawn.
Are you asking for the average square foot of lawns?
No, with that average, we took the 475 and the 550 and come up with an, just the mid range price of 525 to do the 8,320 square foot lawn. So with that number, what is it averaging out per square foot to plug it, seed it, aerate it, put out the fertilizer? Bruce Bisbee's getting around 65 a square foot. Or 65 per 1,000 square feet. Anybody else coming up with close to that?
Yeah, I guess that would be 65 for 1,000.
Yep. So this makes it real easy to go out and bid these jobs. Makes it a whole lot easier to do that. The 21.5 we have $14,000 square foot, and it's $18 a bag. We have 41,600,000 divided by 14,000. We're going to need 2,972 bags. Times 18. $53,496 in cost. What it's going to cost us per it's going to cost us $10.70 in product per yard without the 30% markup. And we've got our 50 labor rate. I'd still keep it at $67 per for the app. We're almost on target. Think about that. $67 per application, and we're $65 per 1,000 square feet on the plug-in and seeding. Good deal. So we've calculated each application. We've come up with our label rate. What is our total cost of product for each round? We've came up with that. Almost. Let's see. Yep. So what is our total cost of products for the year? First round, well, we got to do our soil test. We're spending $84,750 in soil test. And $62,400. Pre-emergent. And second pre-emergent, we're doing 73,216. Our summer applications, we're doing 80. For 69,000. Our seed, 302,560. And the last application, for 53,496. What is the total product cost for that program? Anybody come up with a number yet? So shy. I'm coming up with a little over 800,000 in total for the program. 802,168. Just product cost. That's our cost. And so you guys are going 20 to 30%. Let's do 30. With the 30% markup, we're at $1,042,831.40. So we got a nice little salary just in markup on product if we get it. Good. Anybody coming up with anything close? Daniel's still fishing. He don't have a notebook in his hand. Like, dude, that was such a tease, man. You know, you had your phone just positioned right, and we could see you casting.
I was chunking and winding up here in the current. Struck out.
You couldn't get 2 pesticide credits at the ag center like that with a fishing pole in your hand, could you?
No, I sure couldn't. If I don't strap this one down on the deck, it's gonna wind up in the bottom of the lake.
Anybody coming up with that real quick? That's a lot of money spent, right? That's a lot of money spent in product for 5,000 yards. So we got a few minutes before we end it. I want to show you guys a couple more things. Like I said, look, we're only on slide 12, but that's fine because a lot of these problems you guys have already seen. But I did want to talk about this again real quick, and I know we touched base on this last week. This is using dimensional analysis to do these math problems. So let's say we've got a bunch of different size properties or whatever. So we could actually come out with something pretty quick using the dimensional analysis. So how much would an application... How much would an application of Barricade 65 water dispersible granulars cost us for an 8,000 square foot lawn if the label rate is 1 pound active ingredient per acre and the Barricade cost us $39.95 per pound? And then how much would an application of a granular combination product cost for the same lawn at the same rate? So we're going to start with what we got to get to what we have. And so when using dry formulations, the number on the label refers to the percent active ingredient by weight. And so Barricade 65 water dispersible granulars is 65% by weight prodiamine active ingredient. So 100 pounds of Barricade contains 65 pounds of the active ingredient prodiamine. 1 pound Barricade contains 0.65 pounds of prodiamine. When using liquid formulations, the number on the label refers to the pounds active ingredient per gallon of product. Barricade 4FL has 4 pounds prodiamine active ingredient per 1 gallon product. Therefore, if you have a 2.5 gallon jug of Barricade 4FL, you have 10 pounds prodiamine. What does this cost? How much does this cost us? 2.5 gallon jug of 4FL. I hadn't bought any in a while, but I'm assuming it's probably does anybody know off the top of their head how much that cost?
I ain't used any Barricade in quite a while.
Yeah. Well, I'm for $200. So we could get the 2.5 gallon jug, a little bit better rate per gallon, but still very expensive stuff in the liquid form. So how do we incorporate this information into sprayer spreader cost calculations? Through dimensional analysis. We're going to start with what we have to get to where we want. Now, probably, so Seth, you found it for 167. Let's relate this to beer. Daniel's out there fishing, so he's probably got one of those in his boat somewhere. How much would 5 truckloads of beer cost when delivered to a convenience store if there are 1,000 20-ounce drinks per truck and they cost 5 cents per ounce? A nickel an ounce.
Burt Reynolds did it for 80,000.
Do what?
Burt Reynolds did it for 80,000.
Yeah. So we're going to take what we have. We have truckloads, and we want to get to the cost. So beginning with the unit that you have, proceed to the units you want by canceling out the units through multiplication. So we have, let's see if I can draw on here. Oh, let's see. So we have truckloads. We can cancel, well, there we go. We can cancel out our truckloads. That's what we want to do. So there's 1,000 beers per truckload. There's 20 ounces of beer. We're canceling out our beers. 20 ounce per beer, it's a nickel per ounce. They're 20 ounce beers. So all of these canceled out. Therefore, when we multiply 5 times 1,000 times 20 times a nickel, we're going to get $5,000. So a truckload of beer is $5,000. How do we take that and get it to that math problem that we had? How much would an application of Barricade 65 WDG cost for an 8,000 square foot lawn if the label rate is 1 pound? Active ingredient in Barricade is $39.95 per pound. Again, start with what you have to get with what you want. You have the 8,000 square foot lawn. We want to see how much it's going to cost. And here the problem is set up. And of course, we always start 1 acre, 43,560 square feet. It is 1 pound active ingredient per acre. Acres cross out. Our 1 pound active ingredient cancels out here because 1 pound of Barricade contains 0.65 pounds of active ingredient. And then 1 pound of Barricade, 1 pound of Barricade cancels out. So we have $39.95 divided, well, multiplied. 319,000 divided by 360 divided by the 28,000, multiplying these two here. Therefore, an 8,000 square foot lawn, total product cost for this application of Barricade would be $11.28. Dimensional analysis. Kind of, not such a bad way to do it. What? Any questions on that? Daniel, you're going to have to stop doing that while we're doing this. Look at he turns his camera off.
Well, measure my line.
Give me a heart.
I got a backlash. Way it goes.
Your license. Oh my goodness. Well, guys, we're right at 850. Concerns with the posting to the Laura will do it first thing in the morning. She'll email those out to you tomorrow. North Carolina, all I do is Mr. Weaver told me it's taking 19 into the office during the week. Okay. Now, Now still, let's see. We lost you. Okay. Appreciate it, man. The credits will all to the North Carolina. You guys should see it within a few days. Apply to your license. They're saying between a week, weeks, but we've got last week's class it got uploaded pretty quick. Laura will upload it first thing in the morning, and so you probably will even see it by Friday, maybe. If not, it'll be the first of next week. So, but you'll get 2 credits for LD, N, and X. Most of you guys, I'm sure, is category L, ornamentals and turf, and that's pretty much it. It's simple and sweet with North Carolina. She just logs in with a course code and course submission ID, and it'll get uploaded pretty quick. But like I said, the Department of Ag, they've only got 1 person coming into the office per day, and they are closed on Wednesdays, so they have somebody there Monday and Tuesday and Thursday and Friday. So they won't actually apply these probably till Thursday morning when she uploads them tomorrow. So hopefully this COVID mess will be over soon and we get back to some normalcy.
I need to add another category to my license. Is that even going to be possible this time of year?
They're not doing the exams. They're not doing I haven't heard of any exams till probably after September 30th. How long has it been how long have you had your license?
Oh, long time.
I had to do the same thing, get an additional category. And I took mine back in 1998 or 97. So I had to go and take the core again so I could take the additional. I wouldn't have had to do that if I didn't need the additional category.
I took mine when I was in college studying horticulture, and I've had it. I'd say maybe close to 15 years, maybe.
Gotcha. I forget the cutoff date. It's like 2003, 2004. If you got it before then, you would have to go back and take the core exam again to get that additional category.
Yeah.
But the core is a whole lot easier than the O&T, in my opinion.
I think so.
For mosquitoes, you would probably need public health.
That's what I need to add.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I had it at one point in time, and then for some reason I think they had a glitch in the system, and then the next year it wasn't there. So
yeah,
it's odd.
I know a lot of people are having issues even finding right-of-way credits. We do have a couple of classes coming up for right-of-way, and we're trying to get some approved for aquatics. I know aquatics is hard to find. So, but they're a little particular on those categories.
Mm-hmm.
But Cameron, I'm thinking that it's public health for mosquitoes.
Mr. Jones, I hate to rush off, but
yeah, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I need to go find a dock to get under.
Thanks, Daryl. Means a lot to me, man. Appreciate it, guys. So, all right,
Mr.
guys.
Jones?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, listen, Laura, that must be your secretary, I guess, or your wife or somebody, I guess.
Yeah, both.
Do you have a number? Do you have a number that I can call to make sure? Because this is my first time on this program.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
to make sure that all my information got right. Because you were coming up really broken a while ago. I don't know. I guess it's just my phone.
Gotcha. Yeah. My personal cell phone.
Yep.
Yeah, my personal cell phone number is 336-414
Yes.
99719. 336 414 9719. And I'll type it in here too. That way, if I'm breaking up.
Yeah, you were there for a while when you were explaining that, to me at least, on my phone.
Yes, sir. Oh, shoot. I sent that.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm going to type it in here. So if you guys need to see it, see 414 9719.
Okay.
And so that's entered. Yeah. And guys, we do these every Tuesday night, 7 to 9, Turf Talk Tuesday. So, and I send out the emails and stuff like that. So, we are doing if you guys are interested in the Christmas, doing Christmas lights or whatever, we're doing a free webinar on July 8th, where we're just going to talk about, what it takes to get involved with Christmas decorations. So we have fun doing that. And, it's hard to believe that it's already time to start thinking about, Christmas lights for our customers, but that's why we call it Christmas in July. It's time to get stuff ordered, the lights in, the wreaths, the garland. We've already signed some contracts with some municipalities. So it's just this. And actually, the month of July is actually when we're supposed to start, doing our snow removal contracts. So it's crazy to start thinking about winter work here when it's getting warmer days. So, but anyway, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much. I'm gonna go get some food.
Snow removal?
Yeah. Well,
snow removal? What is that?
Yeah. I miss the days of actually
we
having
don't even
some
own
snow.
a shovel.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's crazy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, guys, I'll have this up here on YouTube so you can watch it a little bit later. And yeah, Mr. Jarvis, yeah, you guys do get a bunch of snow up in PA. So, hey, Mr. Jarvis, how did you find out about this course? Because we did just, last month got approved in Pennsylvania. So how did you actually hear about it?
I went on our Department of Agriculture's website.
Oh, okay.
And it was actually listed on the Department of Ag's website for these categories.
Okay, cool deal. Good deal. So, we appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, guys. Well, you guys take care, and y'all have a good evening.